Emanuela, you now have a life after colitis. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Then I had a first chat with Shamiz,
Hmm.
which gave me a lot of very good tips. And it was very, very genuine. And, I didn't feel at all the pressure at all. And of course, I started watching all the testimonials. And yeah, and some of them really made a stronger impression on me. In fact, I even contacted one of the girls who did one, and I asked how she was feeling, and she was so positive, and she gave me such a lot of advice. And she said, one day you will be recording your testimonials. You asked me at what point of the diet I was, because I told you that I already started by myself. And I said, yeah, I went straight into the strict diet. And you said, oh my God, why did you do that? You didn't say, oh, I said, oh no, why did you do that? So the first thing that you did was getting me back on a transition diet, which was amazing for me. I was like, I can eat some rice and some quinoa, and I can eat more vegetables. And it was easier to start with you guys. It was very, very, very demanding to do it by myself. And my life now is beautiful. I'm very grateful for the life that I have. I have three beautiful children, three boys. They're very active. Fantastic husband as well. 20 years ago.
Oh, yes. Nice.
And we play and we go on holiday. We're going to go on holiday next Friday. I just enjoy life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of IBD Heal, a podcast brought to you by High Carb Health. I'm your host, Shukul, and today our very special guest is Emanuela. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Shakul. It's a great pleasure to be here.
You're welcome, Emanuela. We're very excited to have you on because you are now fully healed and medication-free from ulcerative colitis, and you've been through a bit of a journey and some ups and downs. So we're looking forward to sharing your story. To start off with, could you talk a little bit about how you're feeling now? What is it like to have a life after colitis?
Well, it's fantastic, first of all. I have a family of three children, my husband, so I have a very busy life. We also have a band, a family band. I have 3 bands. We play music. So for me, it's just amazing to be able to play and have the energy, first of all, to sing, and to play and not thinking, oh my God, between songs, I have to go to the toilet. So this is a very important part of our life. Also, we can, we've been traveling. I've been to Greece, I've been to Italy, I'm Italian. And I haven't had any symptoms, fortunately, for the last year or so. And it's just amazing to have a normal life, and you appreciate it much more because you've been through, me, like so many other people, unfortunately, are going through very difficult times, and there is a way out of it. There is. So yeah, it's amazing.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And we're going to be sharing how you can get out of it and get your life back. So let's talk a little bit about your story. How did this all begin for you? When did it first start? How did you get diagnosed? And talk us through your medical experience.
Yes. So I discovered I had proctitis, ulcerative colitis, in June 2022. I wasn't feeling well. My symptoms were not terrible. So my stage of the illness wasn't really, really serious. But I had, I found out I had blood in my stools. So I did some checks, tests, and then I, I did a colonoscopy. And
Mm.
after that, the doctor said, yeah, you have proctitis. I said, what is it? I didn't know this about this illness.
Mm.
Never heard of it. But they said you have to just take medicines. Unfortunately, it's an autoimmune disease, so you can't really heal from it. But just take your medicines and you'll be fine. Okay, I was a bit scared at the beginning, but I've always trusted doctors very much. So I thought, well, they say, I take my medicines and they'll be fine. I didn't know what kind of medicines they were.
Mm.
So I took my medicines for the whole summer. They were called masalamine suppositories.
Mhm.
And for the whole summer, and my symptoms were gone. Then in October, so after the summer, I went to see a doctor at the hospital, and he for a check, and he said, "Oh no, you've been taking medicines for too long. Now stop them." So I stopped them from one day to another. So I'm not progressing
Mm.
in that phase. And if your symptoms come back again, you restart, you take them for a month, and then you stop again. I said, okay, is there anything that I can avoid eating because, it could maybe made everything worse? I
Mm.
said, no, 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 no worries. You can eat whatever you want, even spicy food, which I loved. I used to eat a lot of spicy food. I was already kind of, 95% plant-based. Mm. I wasn't thinking about meat. I was more thinking about spicy food, things that were a bit too strong for my guts. And no, but they say no. Okay, so I went back home, and after a month or so, I had symptoms again. I think it was Christmas time. I was in Italy,
Mm.
and in Italy, I ate a lot of food and, a lot of pasta. And I also had actually some meat there because it's not very easy to be vegan in Italy. So I tried some,
Mm.
and, and then after the day after Christmas, I had symptoms again. Oh, and I was, oh no, I didn't even brought my medicines with me. So
Mm.
I had to find a doctor to prescribe me in Italy the medicines, and started again. So when I came back home in England, because I live in England, I
Mm.
called the NHS and I explained that after just over a month I had symptoms again. So I took the medicine for another month, and then after that I stopped again, not gradually, I just stopped. And after 20 days, so not even a month, I had symptoms again. Okay, so
Mm.
that was the point. I was a bit, that's strange already.
Mm.
Seems
Mm.
like the medicines are not working anymore as before. So I tried to contact my doctor at the hospital, my GP. My GP was okay, but I had to speak to the gastroenterologist.
Mm. Yes.
And it wasn't easy. So I couldn't contact them. I don't know why it wasn't easy. So, and then in those days, I remember I had gigs and I had difficulties. I had to go to the toilet very
Mm.
often during the
Mm.
gigs.
Just give people a timeline around what year were you diagnosed, and like what's the time frame that you're talking through right now?
So I was diagnosed in June. Yeah, that's what you
Which
asked. So
yeah,
in
which
June
year?
2022. And
Right.
then January 2023,
Mm.
I already thought that the medicines were less effective as before.
Perfect. Yeah.
So at the same, around that time, also I met a girl, the mother
Hmm.
of a friend of my children
Hmm.
who was quite poorly. And she said, I'm having an operation in 2 weeks. So I asked, oh, if what kind of operation are you having? She was going to have her colon removed. And she said, I have ulcerative colitis. I've
Mm.
had 10 years and I tried all the medicines
Mm.
possible to, so even steroids and stronger stuff.
Mm.
And I'm doing this operation. I could see she was really poorly. She said, I don't have a life. I go to the toilet like 30 times a day. I can, I stopped working. And that really scared me. So really
Mm.
scared. Yeah, so I was more scared, unfortunately, by her story because I couldn't see myself projected in that situation. My life, my music, my children, all the activities that I do. And I said, no, it's not possible. So one day at a gig, a friend of mine told me, Manu, have you ever tried and see if there is any alternative treatment for this?
Mm.
So that night after the gig, I went home. It was very late, 1, 2 in the morning, and I started Googling alternative cures for ulcerative colitis, and I
Mm.
found the famous book. So the book Self-Healing for Crohn and Colitis.
Mm.
And I bought it straight away. I read all the reviews online. Um, and the book arrived and I went quickly through the first part. I didn't read all of it. I just
Mm.
went to the diet and I started it by myself. In the meanwhile, I found a video of the doctor,
Mhm.
Mark, what's his name again? Sorry.
David Klein.
Yeah, David Klein,
Mm.
um, interviewed by you. So then I investigated more about you guys, and
Mm.
then I had a first chat with Shamiz,
Mm.
um, which gave me a lot of very good tips, and it was very, very genuine, and I didn't feel at all the pressure at all. So at that time I couldn't really afford to start with you, but so I started by myself for
Mm.
5 weeks. I did the very strict diet, and I felt it was quite very difficult. Like I felt kind of depressed at the beginning, and I actually read that it's quite common, no? I felt depressed because I couldn't eat anything basically.
Mm. Mm.
I lost a lot of weight. Had my symptoms increased, so I had more blood, and I had a lot of fevers.
Mm.
One day I had 39, and then the
Mm.
day after I was okay. So it was a
Mm.
bit scary. And then that's when I decided, okay, I'm find the money and yeah, health is so important. I think I
Mm.
really needed to be accompanied in this journey. That's how I found you.
Mm.
And I was like around March, I think, March 2023, last year.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. So now talk about once you joined. So obviously, thank you for sharing how what you went through and why you decided to join. Talk a little bit about what it was like when you started, all the education you got, and then obviously the coaching aspect of it as well.
Yes. So when we started, you sent me a lot of links and books as well. Well, one of which I had already, but then I started read it and I read it properly.
Mm.
Very informative, very detailed. Sometimes difficult, especially if you know mother tongue English.
Mm.
Um, but what actually was very clear for me, the most useful was um, were the links of your sessions. So you and Shamis had some like conferences, talks about how your gut work and how inflammation works. And that was very, very interesting for me to understand how it worked. And so I understood that actually the symptoms that I had was a reaction, a good reaction of my body who wanted to get rid of toxins in my body. So that I was on the right path. I wasn't, yeah. So it was very, very important for me to, and also I watched the documentary Heal that you suggested, and it was really, really powerful for me. Actually, I got really moved by the documentary, so I recommend it because it inspires a lot. Inspires much. And of course, I started watching all the testimonials, and yeah, and some of them really made a stronger impression on me. In fact, I even contacted one of the girls who did one, and I asked how she was feeling, and she was so positive, and she gave me such a lot of advice. And she said, one day you will be recording your testimonial. So that was really, really inspirational. Yeah.
Yeah, and here you are.
Thank you for, yeah, the testimonials are really important, so important for people that are not well, who had this problem, and they really, really keep you going.
Yeah.
My state of the disease was not like other people I saw on the testimonial. So but still was very, very powerful, very strong.
Absolutely. And you still got diagnosed with colitis. So maybe you didn't have the most severe case, but these are serious diseases. They're serious conditions. And so you can't discount the fact that you still had blood in your stool. You still had these symptoms of having to have urgency and these kind of things. So, it's so important that you get to the on top of it before it gets worse. Because if you continue, and this is why I always tell people, if you've been recently diagnosed, if you haven't been on the stronger medications, don't take the risk of going for those medications. Do something about it now, so you don't end up like that girl that you talked to who tried everything. It's been 10 years and now she's going to have surgery and things like that, And so maybe that was a really critical moment in your journey where you thought, my goodness, I don't want to end up like that, because
Yeah.
that could, obviously that could have been you later on as well if you don't do something about it.
Absolutely. It's very important. And this is very important. I think, yeah, you should take action soon
As soon as
as possible.
possible. As soon as
Yes.
possible.
So you
So
have
talk,
less there.
yeah, yeah. So talk everyone through the program. How was the contact coach? We worked together. So how are the meetings? What did you learn? How did your body change over time?
Yeah, so we started our meetings once a week, very early in the morning for me, like now. You've seen in my pajamas, basically. And yeah, it was very important to feel that you were, with me in this journey. In every so the first thing that you told me is that you asked me at what point of the diet I was, because I told you that I already started by myself. And I said, yeah, I went straight into the strict diet. And you said, oh my God, why did you do that? You didn't say, oh, I said, oh no, why did you do that? So the first thing that you did was getting me back on a transition diet, which was amazing for me. I was like, I can eat some rice and some quinoa, and I can eat more vegetables. And it was easier to start with you guys. It was very very, very demanding to do it by myself because I didn't know I could actually transition into it. So, so most of the of our journey together was on a transition diet, right? I think we introduced the strict, very strict diet just the last month. I worked with you for 6 months. I wasn't perfect, let's say it, but let's say 95%. Maybe because the first 5 weeks I were really into it, and then I was like, okay, I can eat something else. And also, I have a very, very social life, very social, very dynamic, and I managed through the healing process. I managed, thank God, I managed to continue working. Fortunately, I work from home. I teach online from home. That was super important. And I managed to continue to sing, but I remember I was less energetic. Sometimes I would have to sit, so I always have a stool there just in case I needed to sit. Fortunately, I have very good, I sing with my husband, so and sometimes I do alone, but so I could go to the toilet, I could leave the stage for 5 minutes. So in every meeting, you would say, how do you feel? How did you feel this week? Analyze literally how many times I went to the toilet. So we monitor that and monitor what I ate. And if there were some vegetables or food that I had to introduce or take off. So even during the week, if I had some doubts about any food, I would send you an email or a quick message on Skype, and you would answer. So that was very useful, not to feel alone, but to have someone there. And actually, I wasn't sending so many questions because it was very clear. The information you sent me, it was very clear in an email at the beginning. So I knew what to do, but then it was great to work together through it. And I think the maximum, the peak where I went more to the toilet was like, I remember one day was 20 times. I said, oh my God, so cool. I went 20 times, but only for one day, thank God. So it was more around 10, 12, and then gradually less and less and less. Yeah.
And talk about the pattern of that, because sometimes people think, okay, if I'm starting at 10, then it should just, systematically go from 10 to 9 to 8 to 7. But it doesn't work like that, does it? There's a whole lot of ups and downs throughout the process. So talk about the pattern of that. I mean, obviously, the trend line is of the improvement, but day by day, you don't always notice that, do you?
Yeah, the worst thing is that the most times you have to go in the morning. So I had to go in the morning, literally before bringing the kids to school. So sometimes it was really hard. I struggled, because I had to get ready. I had to go to the toilet, and then I had to bring the kids to school. So it was mainly in the morning, because the morning, like you taught me, your body heals more. So actually, after lunch, it was less, fortunately. But yeah, it would be, I think it was quite constant around 8, 10, 12 times a day. And then I had some peaks. And some days that I went less, and I was like, yay. But then it went back up again. So it takes, the change is not from one day to the other. It's very gradual. So maybe to analyze the pattern over a month, probably.
And you'll see the difference. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And talk about how that healing journey kind of eased off, and then what it felt like as the symptoms started to go away and almost be gone.
Yeah, I felt that I had more energy. There was there was a part I had low iron in my. Do you remember when I had
Hmm.
my iron was very low?
Mm.
So you suggested some fantastic, which I actually always keep, vegan iron tablets. And for example, the doctor gave me iron tablets that were not good for people who had ulcerative colitis. Anyway, yeah, I
I
started.
think that that iron supplement it actually had a statement, do not use if you have colitis, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
I only discovered after like a month, but fortunately you had already given me the other one. So I
Mm.
was waiting for yours to arrive. They took quite
Mm.
a week or so. Anyway, um, so I felt stronger also, because I also introduced the iron, and
Mm.
I've always been a bit iron anemic, a little bit at times in my
Mm.
life. So that had a tendency. And so iron is very important. So to check your blood.
Mm.
And also, my stools were starting to be normal and had less and less blood in my stools as well. So
Mm.
not diarrhea, but normal, kind of almost, I think. Yeah, no blood. So I had less blood loss, and that's why I felt a bit more energetic. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And how long did it take for you to feel like you had got on top of it? So in terms of when you started to when you felt like all the symptoms had gone completely. Talk about that, and then also what your digestion is like now that you've healed and been healed for quite a while now.
Yes. So I think I started to feel better around October.
What,
Uh,
6 months?
yeah, 6 months. Yeah. And um, I think it's important for our audience also to know that I remember just before going on holiday during
Mm.
the summer, I was a bit worried. I was like, oh my God, how can I? Because my iron was very low, and I had
Mm.
mm, a lot of symptoms, a lot of blood in my stools. And I remember that together, and the doctor said, oh, you have to take the medicines now.
Mm.
Yeah. And I remember that you said they prescribed two medicines. One was a steroid, and the other one was the mesalamine, the one I had already taken.
Mm.
And I remember because you said, okay, maybe we'll see. Let's see. I went to look for the medicines because I was so worried. I had to travel for 1 month, and I couldn't find the steroid one. I think from above someone because I'm, um, hide it. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
I couldn't find it in any pharmacy, and it was like I had to go 2 days after. So I just got the mesalamine, and you said, okay, let's introduce it for a month so that your symptoms don't get too serious.
Mm.
And then so it was good for me because I could go on holiday. So medicines can be useful.
Short-term use, yeah.
Exactly, short term. And then as soon as I got back, we stopped, but not all of a sudden. So we started, for example,
Mm.
to remove one every 2 days, and then one every 3 days. So it was gradual, and then it was fine.
Mm.
And so I had all September to go back to my diet, and then I did the last
Mm.
month of strict diet.
Yeah.
It probably took me longer. Maybe other people they heal in shorter, but
Mm.
because I wasn't perfect. So in I think because my symptoms were because the stage of my illness wasn't that serious. That's why I also sometimes was not perfect, but I think other people that have really, really, really serious symptoms,
Mm.
they take it.
Hmm.
Oh, seriously. So, um, yeah. So if you just avoid the to be cheeky, sometimes you'll get that much quicker than me. Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you for your honesty.
I
Yeah.
it's important, I think.
It is
Yeah,
important,
because no
absolutely. And there's
process.
no point not sharing, because yes, what you're showing is that, you can still heal even if you're not super, super strict. Obviously, it's better to be, f following the guidelines as much as you can. But yeah, you went outside the lines, the box a few times, but you also did a lot of good things. So, and that's why you got the result. So yeah, of course, for real, like congratulations on what you've been able to achieve because it's medically impossible, but not impossible, you know. So if you want to choose the medical model, you will never get rid of it, but you can if you let your body heal itself. Um, let's go into the final bit of the session and talk about exactly what the situation is for you right now with your digestion, and then any advice that you'd like to give to people who are watching about their healing journeys.
And my life now is beautiful. I'm very grateful for the life that I have. I have three beautiful children, three boys. They're very active. Um, um, Fantastic husband as well. They're 20 years ago.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Um, and we play and we go on holiday. We're going to go on holiday next Friday, and um, I just enjoy life, and not appreciate every moment. Sometimes, some days are stressful because you have family and to take care of. And so we've had, for example, recently, the month of June is the busiest of the year because I have June, beginning of July, three birthdays. So two of my
Mm,
children, one of my husband. So I get a bit anxious, and you need a lot of energy, and I
mm,
manage. And there are some days I feel more tired. Now, what I've learned also through this journey, I can listen to my body. I know
mm,
what my body is telling me. So sometimes my body is telling me that I just said to stop and lay down.
mm,
It's important to lay down or to stop, but precisely laying down, I don't know, for me works better. I just get back my energy
mm,
and don't push too much. So it's beautiful to be able to live normal life but enjoying every moment of it. Yeah.
mm. Definitely, definitely. And what advice would you like to give to people who are watching?
So the advice that I would give to our friends who are suffering like I did, and considering my situation, is to try and take action as soon as possible. So even if your condition is not super, super serious,
Mm,
look ahead and see the testimonials and take action straight away. I think that was something good that I did. I didn't wait. I couldn't
mm,
even think about living a life miserable. So I just took action straight away. And, my family and friends supported me. And they said that it's amazing what you did by yourself. That really helped me. So it's important to have family and friends that help you around you. Yes.
yeah.
So it's important. Take action straight away. Don't wait. Don't wait too much.
All right.
Mm.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. And again, congratulations on getting rid of ulcerative colitis. And, it's my favorite part of the show. Emanuela, you now have a life after colitis. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Was waiting for this part. Thank you so much, Shakul. To you and Shamis, I want to say it's amazing what you do. You inspire people, you really change lives. And, it's a lot of work for both parts, of course. But if we hadn't people like you helping us, that wouldn't be probably possible. So thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And so there you go, everybody. Another story of someone who's got rid of ulcerative colitis and has their life back. They can enjoy with their family. They can travel. Manuela she's performing, she's singing. And if you want me to link anything about your band or people in the UK, if they want to know a bit more about what you do, please send me and I'll post the links in the description of this video so people can find you. So for everybody who's watching this, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, there's a comment section down there below, so ask away and I'll get to it as best as I can. If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, please subscribe to the channel so that you get notified of all future uploads. And for everyone who's watching and listening, make sure that you eat plants and lots of them.
Lots of them.
Take care. Thank you so much, Emanuela. Thank you.
Shukul, all the best.
Wonderful.
Ciao.